How Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview shattered the Queen's trust.
The Queen felt deeply hurt and betrayed after Harry and Meghan talked about private family issues in their Oprah interview.
By speaking their struggles on TV, Harry and Meghan broke the special trust between Harry and his grandmother.
Queen Elizabeth always had a soft spot for her grandson Harry. But everything changed after that Oprah Winfrey interview. According to former palace insiders, the Queen felt completely betrayed when Harry and Meghan sat down for their tell-all.
Ever since the Oprah interview, the Queen's close relationship with Harry changed, and things have never been the same between them.
It wasn't just the content that hurt, it was the timing. Prince Philip, the Queen's husband of over 70 years, was gravely ill, and he passed away just a month later.
The interview happened while Prince Philip was very sick, making things even harder for the Queen.
In the interview, Meghan made the shocking claim that someone in the royal family had expressed concerns about their baby's skin color.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
While no names were given, the allegation cast a shadow over the entire family. The Queen, who dedicated her entire life to the monarchy, was said to be deeply dismayed. That infamous "recollections may vary" statement from Buckingham Palace. That came straight from her, insiders say. To her, the public accusation without naming names was unforgivable. From that moment on, things between Harry and his grandmother were never the same. Why naming their daughter Lilibet deeply offended Queen Elizabeth. The naming of Harry and Meghan's daughter may have looked like a tribute to the Queen on the surface, but behind palace walls, it stirred serious frustration. When the couple announced they had named their daughter Lilibet, the Queen's personal nickname, it quickly became clear that permission had not been granted. According to one of the Queen's senior staffers, Her Majesty was as angry as I'd ever seen her. For the Queen, who was already battling significant health issues at the time, it felt like another blow. Publicly, the palace was careful not to stir more drama, but sources confirmed to the BBC that the couple had not asked in advance. The emotional toll on the Queen, who passed away a year later, was profound. Friends of the royals now say this moment marked one of the final straws in her deteriorating relationship with Harry. Was Meghan the mastermind behind the royal fallout? While Harry's falling out with the royal family is well documented, some close to the family believe it wasn't entirely his doing. Friends of William and Kate are convinced that Meghan saw Harry as her ticket to global stardom. He ain't the sharpest tool in the box, one insider said bluntly, and they feel he was completely manipulated. The view inside palace circles is that Meghan underestimated how dull royal life could be: ribbons, handshakes, and endless protocol. Once the reality set in, some believe she chose to milk it for all it was worth. Comparisons to Wallis Simpson and Edward VIII, the couple who scandalously left the royal family behind in the 1930s, have been thrown around more than once. For some in the family, the solution is simple. Exile worked once, and they believe it can work again. Queen Elizabeth's final years were rough for her. Queen Elizabeth's final years were marked by failing health and, reportedly, deep personal disappointment. A close friend revealed that the Queen suffered from bone cancer and was visibly struggling in her final stretch. She could hardly see, could hardly move, said the source, and then she was completely let down by her grandson. It was utterly devastating. Even small moments, like a simple phone call from Harry after he moved to California, became uncomfortable. A palace switchboard operator recently shared that when Harry rang the Queen's private line, she didn't even respond to the usual call notification. The silence, said the staffer, was stony and completely out of character for the famously polite monarch. It may have only been a few seconds, but to those familiar with palace protocol, it spoke volumes. Kate Middleton steps back into royal life, but on her own terms. While the royal family continues to deal with the fallout from Harry and Meghan's actions, Kate Middleton is slowly returning to the spotlight after her own private battle. Following her cancer diagnosis and recovery, Kate is recalibrating her entire public role, and doing it on her own terms. She's expected to appear for the French president's state visit, though she'll skip the formal dinner. Sources say royal planners are relieved she's engaging again, even if in a limited capacity. Kate has always resisted the idea of being a non-stop public-facing royal like Princess Anne. And now, after everything, From Harry's public criticisms to her own health battles, she's setting boundaries more firmly than ever.
Why did Queen Elizabeth choose Balmoral for her final days?
King Charles stated Queen Elizabeth chose Balmoral as her final resting place due to her love for the estate and Scotland.
The late Queen held a special affection for Balmoral, choosing to spend her final days at the Scottish estate.
Imagine the immense weight of a crown worn for 70 years. Now imagine the choice of where to lay it down. Queen Elizabeth II didn't just happen to be at Balmoral Castle in Scotland when she passed, she chose to be there.
Queen Elizabeth II died peacefully in her sleep at Balmoral Castle. She chose her cherished Scottish estate as her final resting place.
This wasn't some administrative decision. It was deeply intentional, brimming with personal significance for Her Majesty and the entire royal family. As King Charles III has since emphasized, Scotland, and Balmoral in particular, held a uniquely special place in the hearts of the family, a sentiment especially true for his late mother.
King Charles stated Queen Elizabeth chose Balmoral as her final resting place due to her love for the estate and Scotland.
It was more than a castle. It was a beloved home, a place of profound peace and cherished memories, far from the bustling demands of London. Did the royal family try to change the Queen's mind about passing away in Balmoral? While the public may have assumed a seamless transition, there were in fact private family discussions about this very decision. Princess Anne, the Queen's steadfast daughter, later revealed that some family members initially tried to persuade Her Majesty to consider other options for her final days. Perhaps they worried about the logistics of a sovereign passing so far north, or perhaps they simply wanted her closer to the heart of the institution. But ultimately, Queen Elizabeth II's wishes were respected. This paints a vivid picture of a monarch who, even in her final moments, retained a quiet determination and the deep affection of her family. It underscores the profound personal connection she had with Balmoral, a bond strong enough to gently override even the most well-meaning concerns of those closest to her. On September 8, 2022, at the age of 96, surrounded by the tranquility of the Scottish Highlands, Queen Elizabeth II passed away peacefully at her beloved Balmoral. What was Queen Elizabeth's very last official act? Queen Elizabeth remained committed to her lifelong duty. Just 2 days before her passing, she carried out her last public engagement, meeting with the newly appointed Prime Minister, Liz Truss, at Balmoral. This image, the frail but resolute Queen fulfilling her constitutional role, became an iconic testament to her unwavering dedication. She wasn't just a figurehead, she was actively engaged, ensuring a smooth transition of power even in her twilight days. And beyond public duties, her private life reflected this same practicality. It was revealed that her final diary entry, made at Balmoral, was typically factual and practical. Not a maudlin reflection on life's end, but a simple, clear record, embodying the very essence of a woman who meticulously cataloged her life and responsibilities right up to the very last moment. Were the royals hiding secrets about the Queen's health? While the public mourned her passing, details about the Queen's long-term health began to emerge, shedding light on the quiet struggle she endured. In his memoir, former Prime Minister Boris Johnson made a controversial claim that Queen Elizabeth II had been privately battling a form of bone cancer for over a year. This revelation, breaking with decades of royal protocol regarding medical confidentiality, suggested a quiet fortitude in the face of a hidden illness. Throughout the Queen's final period, there was a strict and unwavering respect for privacy regarding her declining health. The royal family maintained absolute medical confidentiality, offering only general updates on her mobility issues or episodic sickness. This carefully guarded silence reflected a long-standing tradition of protecting the monarch's personal medical details, ensuring her dignity, and preventing public alarm. It wasn't until after her passing that the fuller picture of her final battle began to unfold, revealing a queen who faced her last challenge with the same quiet strength and dedication that defined her historic reign, all from the serene comfort of her cherished Scottish home.
Princess Kate reportedly confronted Prince Harry and claims he betrayed royals.
Kate Middleton ended up confronting Prince Harry, and this was allegedly a private conversation with Prince Harry, and she expressed her feelings that he actually betrayed the royal family. This all went down, by the way, just before the Queen's funeral in 2022. The royal family drama continues. It doesn't look like it's gonna end anytime soon, guys. According to nowtolove.com, during the late Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, walked between her husband and his estranged brother, Prince Harry.
Kate Middleton reportedly confronted Prince Harry and claimed he betrayed the royal family just before Queen Elizabeth II's funeral.
The reports go on to suggest that Kate continued to grow tired of Prince Harry due to his memoirs Spare, as well as media appearances, which she found really hurtful. And during all these moments, Prince Harry repeatedly criticized the royal family, and in response, Kate reportedly confronted him just hours before the funeral.
Kate knew this would be the only time she could speak to Harry before he closed himself off from the family again.
One insider reportedly said this: Kate knew this would be the only time she could speak to Harry before he closed himself off from the family again. After all, with so much going on between them, there was going to be zero chance at the actual ceremony. Sources also stated that Kate aimed to communicate to Harry the extent of the hurt caused by his actions and how it created a rift between him and his brother.
I do think it's incredible how strong and how you've been able to cope, really.
And although his brother, Prince William, wasn't part of this secret conversation that Kate had with Harry, it was mentioned that he had given his approval for Kate to address his brother in this manner. In addition to this, here is what an insider specifically said. Kate never thought in a million years that Harry would hurt his own family like this.
Harry and Kate were once so tight, and she can't forget that.
It feels like she's also lost a brother in all this mess, and she wanted to ask Harry one very simple question.
Why did you betray us?
Reportedly, Kate had numerous questions about Harry's upcoming memoir at the time, Spare, and sought straight answers during what was said to be her only chance for a private conversation with him for a considerable time. Now, the sources claimed that Kate aimed to connect emotionally with Harry, recalling a time when he actually sought her advice. And this highlights the perceived change in him, where he's no longer confiding in Kate. He's just going solo. Now, fast forward, recently, Kate Middleton, who is the future Queen Consort, was seen in full army uniform during an official visit to Robertson Barracks at Swanton Morley in Norfolk. And Kate, who was appointed Colonel-in-Chief of the First Queen's Dragoon Guards, or the QDG, by King Charles in August of 2023, engaged in various activities during the visit, including flying a drone, awarding medals to servicemen and women, and promoting the regimental mascot pony. She appeared to be enjoying the visit, smiling as she interacted with families and regiment members. So it looks like Kate is still going full force as a royal, even though she has decided to take a break from many of her duties to focus on her children for a certain period of time. But she loves the royal life and she's all about it. And it's clear in seeing why she would feel so hurt by Harry and what he's done and what he's said, and why she would want to confront him in the way that she did. Doesn't seem like her efforts have made a difference though, because Harry and his wife Meghan show zero signs of actually mending their strained relationship with the British royal family, and they haven't really apologized at all. They feel 100% justified in what they did. And reports have said in the past that Kate has been working behind the scenes to try to fix and mend the family relationship, and now this new report is coming out saying that she actually confronted him before the Queen's funeral. So she's been doing this for quite a while, and yeah, it just looks like nothing seems to be working, and this royal family rift is still prevalent.
What was hard to get over was being blamed for something that not only I didn't do, but that happened to me.
It's time to spill some royal tea. Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle's feud is way worse than you thought, and this revelation about their royal rift will shock you.
While the tabloids love to pit Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle against one another, they're both valued members of the royal family.
The newly released book, Endgame, Inside the Royal Family and the Monarchy's Fight for Survival, royal expert Omid Scobie revealed that the Princess of Wales had a rather physical reaction to hearing her sister-in-law's name. Yep, apparently Kate has jokingly shuddered at the mere mention of Meghan, Yikes. The British journalist also claims that the two have had almost zero direct communication in years and no plans to reconcile.
I think it's really important for people to understand the truth. I would hope that she would have wanted that corrected.
Omid also touches on an infamous fight between Meghan and Kate. In 2017, it seemed like they got along famously. However, speculation about pre-wedding issues surfaced a year later when British tabloids claimed that Meghan had left Kate in tears.
It was a really hard week of the wedding, and she was upset about something, but she owned it and she apologized.
In the book, he writes that Kate watched this unfold in silence as the media ran wild with it. Now, Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, also dropped some major bombshells about his life, the royal family, and the rocky relationship with his brother, Prince William. But it also gave us some insight into this very heated exchange between their respective partners.
Prince Harry's tell-all memoir, Spare, hits shelves on January 10th. And this book is filled with bombshells.
There wasn't much information on what actually happened until Harry and Meghan addressed the fight during their controversial tell-all interview with Oprah. The Duchess of Sussex revealed that the opposite had actually occurred. So fast forward to 2023, and more details about this he said, she said incident have come out, straight from Prince Harry himself in his memoir. So in preparation for the royal wedding, Harry says that Kate had expressed concerns about Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid's dress, describing it as too big, too long, and too baggy.
If you love me, you don't have to hate her. And if you love her, you don't need to hate me.
Adding that it even brought her own daughter to tears while trying it on. Poor girl, we have all been there. Meghan then apparently replied with, "Can you take Charlotte to have it altered, as the other mums are doing?" Which Kate shut down, insisting on having it completely remade, as alterations wouldn't be enough to save the dress. Despite Kate eventually having the dress altered, the Duke of Sussex returned home to find Meghan on the floor sobbing. The next day, Kate apparently apologized and made amends by bringing over flowers and a card. So a much different story than what the media was reporting at the time. During Meghan's interview with Oprah, she also said that everyone in the institution knew it wasn't true, adding that she wasn't sharing this information as a slight to Kate, but to make sure people understood the truth. Of course, there's always two sides to every story, so we still haven't gotten a full picture of what actually happened.
My brother and I love each other. I love him deeply. There has been a lot of pain between the two of us, especially the last 6 years.
Kate Middleton is really working hard for the royal family and being a real royal right now. She is engaged in working behind the scenes to facilitate communication between Prince William and Harry, and she's offering a lot of support to King Charles and other family members who are just straight up tired of the ongoing conflicts. According to a royal biographer, the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, is actively working to mend the fractured relationship between the two brothers. And in addition with her work to reconcile the brothers, Kate has also been instrumental in coordinating visits from the king to spend time with his grandchildren.
And all I've tried to do here is to see if I could produce something that warmed the heart and fed the soul.
Reportedly, Kate stands as the sole member of the royal family actively contributing to the resolution of tensions between the two brothers, as highlighted by a royal biographer in an interview with the Express US. And this biographer, Robert Jobson, he's the author of Our King Charles III, The Man and the Monarch Revealed. He commended Kate's efforts, stating that she is actively attempting to bridge the gaps within the family. And Robert Jobson, he had this to say in his own words: "I'm not sure how much dialogue there is with William and Harry at the moment. I think the only person that is helping the situation is Catherine, who is doing a brilliant job. First of all, when the king wants to see his grandchildren, for example, it's important to say that a lot of it has been through Catherine. But William and Harry, it's a difficult one. I think as brothers, they are more likely to get on the phone and have a conversation." Nevertheless, despite Kate's persistent efforts, there's a lack of trust that still continues to persist among the warring members of the royal family. The situation reached a new low following comments made by the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, in his recently published memoir Spare that was released earlier in 2023. Within the book's pages, Harry recounts an alleged physical confrontation between himself and his elder brother Prince William, during which William reportedly pushed him to the ground. And on top of that, Prince Harry, he details claims of William referring to Meghan as difficult, rude, as well as abrasive.
Squashes this idea that somehow my wife was the one that destroyed the relationship between these two brothers.
And then Robert Jobson, he also added this. It's quite possible that one of them might pick up the phone to have a rant, but who's gonna pick up the phone on the other end?
It was never a case of, I don't want to talk about it with you, I just don't know how to talk about it.
Because that's not gonna achieve anything. There's also a lack of trust at the moment between all the members of the family and Harry about where this information is going, because a lot of stuff has appeared in print by him. I think that the royal family are gonna have a period of calm where they actually can start to build some form of trust. I don't believe it'll ever come back to what it was before. Now, this strain existing between Harry and Meghan and William and Kate has definitely cast a shadow over other members of the royal family as well. Like, for example, the author even noted that the ongoing feud has been really stressful for Beatrice and Eugenie, individuals with whom Harry maintains close bonds.
Queen Elizabeth II is speaking out following Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
And she claims that Prince Harry added unnecessary misery to the final months of his grandmother's life.
A recent report has unveiled an inappropriate request made by Harry and Meghan to the late Queen Elizabeth II, and you're not going to believe what they requested, like the audacity.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are asking for charity donations instead of traditional wedding gifts.
Now, this story revolves around the home that Queen Elizabeth gave Harry and Meghan Markle as a gift after their wedding back in 2018. Now, the Queen herself found their request to be straight up inappropriate and firmly turned it down.
Apparently not stopping the Queen from giving them a present of epic proportions, an entire house.
But to understand the disrespectful nature of their request, we have to rewind a little bit and take a look at some things. Throughout history, there have been individuals that were really influential, and their actions and words shaped the world as we know it today. And they crafted their own narratives during their lifetimes, aiming to leave a lasting impact. And Queen Elizabeth II was one of these figures.
Elizabeth Lee, Westminster.
The Queen is crowned, symbol of hope.
Queen Elizabeth lies home.
Another extraordinary chapter has been written.
Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history.
However, when such a prominent figure passes away, others take on the role of shaping their legacy through the stories and accounts that they share.
Queen Elizabeth II has died at 96 years old.
These stories can be used to reinforce certain viewpoints or perspectives about the person who passed away. And as time goes on, various stories are brought to light about the late Queen Elizabeth II. This one being one of those stories that recently resurfaced, and it concerns her relationship with her grandson, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan Markle.
Harry wrote about how his grandmother tried to understand his decision to leave as a working royal. What sort of a relationship did Harry have with the late monarch?
So Queen Elizabeth was known for her generosity, right? And it's reported by the Mirror publication that the couple, Harry and Meghan, initially asked if they could live within the Windsor Castle itself and inquired about the possibility of having their living quarters provided for them after their marriage. Now, the Queen was shocked by this request.
Worried about the future of the firm and its survival. I was fascinated to know what she really felt about Megxit, about Harry leaving, to learn just how much that disappointed her.
And she completely shut it down. Instead, she offered Frogmore Cottage, which is a residence very close to her own, described by the late Lady Elizabeth Anson as essentially being in her backyard, her solitude and her privacy. So it was a very close property to Queen Elizabeth II. Also, Lady Elizabeth Anson mentioned that the Queen had expressed the hopes that the couple would respect it in reference to the cottage that they were gifted, Frogmore Cottage. Meghan Markle wanted to be seen as a princess, which is likely why she and Prince Harry requested to reside at Windsor Castle after they got married. And back then, only the Queen and Prince Philip, her husband, had their own private apartments within the castle, while other family members resided in different parts of the castle. Now, Windsor Castle has been the royal family's residence for almost 1,000 years, encompassing various properties from grand mansions to cottages. And reportedly, the Queen found the Sussexes' request very inappropriate and firmly turned it down. Like, I could just imagine the look on Queen Elizabeth's face when they requested this. Like, even though Meghan and Harry didn't conduct their interview with Oprah where they bashed the royal family publicly at that time, they still had shown signs that they didn't want to be part of the royal family.
Harry saying Britain was not safe for his family.
And then to make this request, it's like, kind of a slap in the face to the royal family institution here. We just want to, milk it for all it's worth. We want to live in Windsor Castle with Queen Elizabeth. But hey, Queen Elizabeth is generous, so they were gifted Frogmore Cottage. And some might wonder about the timing of this story resurfacing and the intention behind highlighting a quote attributed to Queen Elizabeth, especially considering the recent events involving the couple being asked to vacate Frogmore Cottage by her son, King Charles. However, the primary concern here is to protect the reputation of Frogmore Cottage, and the royals feel like the property shouldn't be tarnished by the type of scandals and controversies that Meghan and Harry's actions have generated. So it's like, vacate, please, go. You don't even want to be part of the royal family anyway, so go.
Prince Harry is beginning to feel the weight of his choices, according to those close to the royal family.
Prince Harry reportedly full of regrets over his role in the royal rift amid plea for reconciliation.
Prince Harry regrets his role in royal fallout, pleading for peace with the palace.
After years of tension, distance, and public fallout with his family, Harry is reportedly full of regret over how things unfolded, and more importantly, over what he may have lost along the way.
Prince Harry is full of regrets for the way he handled his relationship with his family.
Royal author Duncan Larcombe, who has long followed the ups and downs of Prince Harry's journey, claims Harry is now looking back with a sense of remorse.
Royal author claims Prince Harry regrets the role he played in the rift with his family.
While he may not openly admit it, there are signs that Harry wishes he had handled things differently from the start. Harry has always worn his heart on his sleeve. From his earliest days in the spotlight, he was the emotional one, the more vulnerable of the two brothers. And that hasn't changed.
Prince Harry regrets his role in how the royal rift unfolded with Prince Charles and Prince Williams.
Larcombe suggests that moments like Trooping the Color and Father's Day, which recently landed on the same weekend, have stirred up old memories, reminders of happier times spent with Prince William and King Charles. It's not hard to imagine that in the quiet moments away from the cameras, Harry is thinking about those relationships and wishing he could somehow turn back the clock. The shift in Harry's life since moving to California with Meghan Markle has been dramatic. Once at the heart of the British monarchy, the couple now leads a very different life in Montecito. Their visits back to the UK have been rare since they left royal duties in 2020. Part of that distance is logistical. After stepping down as working royals, their taxpayer-funded security was removed, and that has been a sore spot for Harry ever since. His want to reinstate full police protection ended in defeat, and the loss has added to his reluctance to bring his children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, back to the UK. Harry has openly admitted he doesn't see a scenario in which he and Meghan can safely return to his home country as a family. That stance has only reinforced the deep divide between him and the rest of the royal household. According to Larcombe, Harry's declaration has essentially locked him into his position. He's made his line in the sand, and now he has to live with it. Meghan, meanwhile, is reportedly less than eager to return to the UK herself. The couple has faced intense criticism from the British public and press for their public interviews, documentaries, and memoirs, all of which contained stinging commentary about royal life and their personal experiences within the institution. As Larcombe put it, you'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind not to notice the level of backlash they've received. And while that criticism may feel unfair to them, it still affects how comfortable they feel being in the UK again. There's also the question of security, something Harry takes extremely seriously. Larcombe says that while royal events often appear calm and orderly on the surface, there's a massive network of protection operating behind the scenes, most of which the public never sees. Without that infrastructure in place, Harry and Meghan are left to rely on a private team that lacks the same intelligence and coordination. To Harry, that's not a risk worth taking when it comes to his family's safety. But despite all the hurdles, emotional, logistical, and political, Harry appears to be trying to rebuild some kind of bridge. There's talk that he's extending an invitation to his father and brother to attend the Invictus Games in Birmingham in 2027. It may seem far off, but insiders say he's already working on sending out initial invitations to Buckingham Palace. A formal invite will follow closer to the event. Harry has reportedly signed off on the guest list and even helped draft the wording of the invitations. That small gesture, while subtle, speaks volumes. It's his way of opening the door again. Whether Charles or William will accept the invitation is still unknown, but the timing of the games could complicate things. It overlaps with Queen Camilla's 80th birthday celebrations, which may take priority for the royal household. Still, it's clear Harry wants to reconnect, and this event gives him an opportunity to do so on his terms, without the intense spotlight of an official state function or royal gathering. While the road back to family harmony may be long and uncertain, it seems Harry is at least starting to look back and ask himself if he made the right choices. Regret doesn't always lead to reconciliation, but it's often the first step. And if Harry truly wants to rebuild the bonds he once had, especially with his father and brother, the time to begin may be now. Whether the rest of the family is willing to meet him halfway remains to be seen.